Rest on your back with your feet standing. And just take a minute here, not to do anything special, but to begin to tune in to how you're resting. So you might just begin by asking yourself if you've placed your feet to your liking. You could experiment a little. You could place the feet a little closer together, a little further apart. You could move your feet a little closer to your pelvis on the floor. See how they stand there. Move them a little further away. And then just find the most comfortable place for your feet. Take a moment to feel how your back meets the floor. Is there more pressure against the floor behind your ribs on one side compared to the other? You might notice when you breathe in, there's a sense that the back of your ribs on one side is more active against the floor than the other. And then gently roll your head a little to the left and a little to the right, just to see how awake is your spine. In other words, is this something you're just doing with your neck, or can you feel the spine between the shoulder blades? Okay, rest your head in the middle. And now, please place your left hand on your belly. You can probably still have the elbow on the floor. And place your right hand on your breastbone, or somewhere on your chest that's comfortable. And now, each time you breathe in, expand your belly so that you can feel your belly lifting your hand. And then let go on the exhale. Nothing special on the exhale. You're not trying to make the movement larger each time. You're just feeling this interaction between the rhythm of your breathing, the movement of your belly, the contact between your belly and your hand. Good. Now, just continue breathing regularly. And then for the next few breaths, deliberately expand your chest into your right hand. And you can feel that to help you do this, you draw your belly a little up and in. So for 3 or 4 or 5 inhalations, each time you breathe in, you think of flattening the belly and expanding through the chest. And you feel, of course, with your right hand, you feel the movement. And now alternate. So with one breath in, you expand your belly into your left hand. And then with the next breath in, you expand your chest into your right hand. Go back and forth like this. And now pause, but switch your hands so that your right hand is on your belly and your left hand is on your chest. Just allow your hands to sense your resting breath. Notice if the expansion is more prominent below or above. And now do something slightly different than what you were just doing. Can you expand your belly as you exhale? Do that a few times. There's no specific direction about what you do when you inhale, but every time you exhale, try to push your belly again into your hand. It's your right hand now that's on your belly. And then a few times on the exhale, you draw the belly in and you expand your chest into your left hand on the exhale. And once you get the idea, begin to alternate these two movements so that each expansion happens timed with the exhale. And then see if you can make yet another transition where you expand in one place on the inhale and you expand in the other place on the exhale. So now you're timing movements with both the inhalation and the exhalation. Just notice, where are you expanding on the inhale and where are you expanding on the exhale. Once you're clear what your pattern is, take a rest and switch your hands again, and now do the opposite. If you were expanding in the belly on the inhale, now expand in the belly on the exhale. If you were expanding into the chest on the inhale, now expand into the chest on the exhale. Terrific. So leave it all alone. You can rest. You can even lengthen your legs out on the floor for a moment if you wish. Roll your head a little side to side again. And then bring your feet back to standing, your head resting in the middle. And there's going to just be basically one new idea here. But once you see what it is, you'll have the opportunity on your own later to incorporate this new variation into many situations. So it's just one more thing to do now, but it's a whole new kind of doorway of possibility, let's say. So put your left hand on your belly again, but this time make sure it's on the left side of your belly. And put your right hand on your chest, but make sure it's the right side of your chest. And now breathe in and expand into the left side of your belly. Maybe the right side of the belly does something, but you're really aiming right into your hand. You're aiming towards the left side of your belly. Exhale, and then on the next inhalation, aim up into the right side of your chest. And alternate between expanding once in the left side of your belly and then once in the right side of your chest. And once you have this, you can play with those other variations on the breath. You can do these two things on the exhalation instead of the inhalation. And then you can do one movement as you inhale, one movement as you exhale. All right, let it go. Take a rest. And then when you're ready, stand your feet. Put your right hand on the right side of your belly. Put your left hand on the left side of your chest. And just begin to expand into the right side of your belly one time, and then the left side of your chest one time. And just notice that you have many choices about how you coordinate this with your breathing. You could make movements only as you inhale or only as you exhale. You could move on the inhale and the exhale. There isn't a correct way to do this. There's just many possible variations, some of which might feel simpler to you, others might feel more challenging. It's always useful to just embrace what comes easily to begin with, but then notice what patterns you didn't choose, and then take the time, maybe slowing down, being a little less ambitious, to find another pattern. Okay, leave it all alone. And if you saw the other video, part 1 of this idea of seesaw breathing, you'll know that you can take this idea into many positions. You could lie on the side, you could lie on the belly, you could do many things. But for now, just stay on your back and just go back to the simple idea of breathing into the belly and into the chest, not doing this diagonal movement, just going right down the middle again, but just to see if you have a new experience of being able to make the movement up and down the middle after exploring those diagonals. So another day you can take those diagonals into other positions as well, but just feel now, what's it like to expand into the belly and expand into the chest? And one last variation, which won't be new if you did part 1, but maybe it's new for you, is to breathe in and hold your breath, but then expand the belly, expand the chest, expand the belly, expand the chest with your breath held in. And just remember, you can try that with the breath held out as well. And then maybe the most challenging is to breathe in and out in one rhythm and to expand in the belly and expand in the chest in another rhythm. If you go back to part 1, then you'll have the opportunity to practice that particular variation in more depth. But once you've done part 1 and part 2, you can also imagine how you can combine what you learned in those 2 different exercises with your own creativity. So when you're all done, just take your time to roll to your side, slowly stand up, and just see how you feel in standing afterwards. Take a walk around the room, and see you next time.